Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Saturday. I hope that you guys have had a good start to your weekend and that your week was good as well. So, let's see immediately who is in the live chat room tonight. We have Paul, Alison, Joe, Cindy, Jennifer, Gail, Ninja, Kitty, Pam, K36, Billy, Teresa, Tammy, Kevin, Peridot, does that say? Corey, Gale, Shanna, as Cindy, Muriel as well, saying hello, Phil, Wings of Pegasus. Hello, everybody in the live chat room tonight. And let me skip this advert immediately in the live stream. So, yeah, hello, thank you for joining me tonight. And I'm going to be organised with tonight's live stream and get the names of my patrons up on screen instantly, because they make this all possible in the first place. And a big thank you and shout out to these people at the bottom of the screen. You know who you are. I always say they're the foundation of everything that I do. They make everything possible. These live streams, all my analysis videos, the cover videos that I've done in the past, all that stuff. And the Authentic Vocal Project and everything that I do. I was going to say everything that I do on the side, but just everything that I do, because certainly the Authentic Vocal Project isn't really a side thing. It's a main thing, along with what I'm doing here on the channel. But with Authentic Vocal, let me think. Okay, well, Shirley Lewis, we had a chat with Shirley on Wednesday night. That was the video. And Shirley is from the George Michael Singers, who are currently touring. So if you are in the UK, you can get a ticket, go and watch them live. Obviously, they are singing fully live, authentically. Maybe not obviously, but maybe if you know Shirley and you know how they used to sing behind George Michael, they didn't used to have any backing tracks or tune anything. It was all just their voices and George's voice live. But anyway, so they're touring at the moment. You guys can pick up tickets if you want to go and see them live. And yeah, it is going to be fully live vocal. So yeah, the whole Authentic Vocal thing, I'm going to be getting some audio from Shirley's show, should I say the George Michael Singers show last night. I'll be getting the audio from that, and then they'll be added to the Authentic Vocal roster in the near future, when I can kind of get through all of it. But yes, just great to have a chat with Shirley, as always, on the channel. And what did we have last night was, oh yeah, a bit of a break from my schedule where, yeah, I noticed something that was a video that was a little bit, for me, well, I say a little bit, it was a misrepresentation of the vocal coach that I looked at recently. And I just wanted to point out that something had been edited, and sometimes things are changed depending on the angle of what the person's trying to go for with their channel. And yeah, I just wanted to make sure that everything was clear. Now, actually, over the last 2 or 3 days, I've had, I mean, at least a couple of troll comments that I can remember that I will address. We will jump into Troll Corner later on in tonight's live stream. But they were ones where, I mean, one was actually on the Celine Dion thing, that was ages ago. So I thought that was done and dusted, and that everybody, I mean, maybe people just saw my video and didn't know what the performance was at the opening ceremony of the Olympics. So yeah, this person, I don't know, didn't understand what I was saying, or didn't realize that the only way that the performances can be what they are and what we're looking at on screen, the only way this can happen is for it not to have been a live vocal. But we'll jump into that later on, because it was a bit of a change, because I thought, I'm going to have to think back to that video that, has been backed up by multiple music professionals, and it really was what it was, and there's no other way of saying it. But maybe the person commenting had just heard interviews from the people at the performance, because they said that it was fully live and that it was a live vocal, so they were being a little bit misleading with that. But anyway, we had that, and I think maybe a couple of comments that were along other lines, but I'll get to those in Troll Corner a little bit later on. So I can see that we have had some donations. I can see one going through there again, or should I say another donation has just gone through in the super chat window, which was Elaine, just adding to that. Oh, I can see that she's mentioned Keb Mo, and yes, I've had contact with Keb in the past, and Keb Mo has seen the channel, and he was very kind to say something positive about the channel, saying that if people wanted to get into music in a deeper level and appreciate performances on a deeper level as well, that they should come and watch my channel, which is great. So I think Elaine might have been to see Keb Mo last night. So it says, hubby and I went to see Keb Mo last night. He was great, sang Am I Wrong? So thank you for that, Elaine. So Keb Mo, really nice guy, and great. I mean, it's great when people get in touch when I've done, I mean, the video was ages ago where we were looking at Keb Mo's performance, but then when artists get in touch with me, it's great. Keb Mo was one of those that did get in touch. But anyway, we will get into the donations, but as I always say, you don't have to donate, just watching is great. First of all, we need to get the likes goal up on screen. So tonight we are going to be aiming for 520 likes. So if you could hit the thumbs up, that would be very much appreciated. And we'll see where we are at the moment. It's 257 likes. So we are almost halfway, I believe. So we're one away from being halfway to the target. So if we hit that particular target, then we'll have FilJam number 222. So it's going to be all the twos for tonight, 222. And we'll keep an eye on that throughout tonight's live stream. But back to the donation thing, that you don't have to donate. So I will put that up on screen. For those people that can't resist donating, I think it's important that they know between 45 and 60% goes to YouTube through the super chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link. And you can find that in the description below. But you don't have to donate. Just watching is great. So, yes, we will be making our way through the live stream as normal with the cover video that we've got at the top of the live chat room. At the moment, Behind Blue Eyes is in the lead with 51% of the vote, and that's going up against last live stream's loser, which was Miles Away. So you can vote for either one of those, and then we'll jump into my version of either one of those songs. So Now, there have been donations over on PayPal, but let me just jump into the Super Chat window because Paul donated $2. Thank you for that, Paul. The message is, let's have fun tonight and spike the likes all y'all. So thank you for that, Paul. Orlando donated $2 and said, hit that like button. Let's go. Hi, Paul. So thank you for that, Orlando. And yeah, Elaine's $5 donation again. Thank you for that, which we just referenced. And Chrissy has donated $7.99. Thank you for that. And the message is, hi, Phil. Really enjoyed your show the other night. It's a bummer they're not coming down under. Shout out to my fellow Aussies here. So thank you for that. And I think... Oh, I don't even know if this has been announced or anything. So I don't know whether I can say anything. But yeah, I was chatting, of course, to Shirley. And we do chat for quite a long time. And a lot of the chat that we do cover doesn't necessarily make it into the final edit of the video, because I try to keep the videos as short as possible, maybe down to about 20 minutes, something like that. But we were talking for probably an hour or more. But what I might try and do is edit some of that chat together for the Authentic Vocal channel, because we were talking about AI and how it works, and what I'll be doing on Authentic Vocal, and how it won't be affected by AI at all, because I'm only dealing with humans. And we kind of go through the scenario, well, what if somebody wanted to try and make an AI voice or an AI artist, and it would just have to be online all the time, trying to do something live, and people would tell, well, yeah, that person doesn't look like the image of the person that's online, because there'll be an AI image as well. So we talked about all of that. So that's something that I can hopefully edit together for the Authentic Vocal channel, just as something for people to find out about AI and all that kind of stuff. But yes, I think I can say, I'll say that there are plans, or there are ideas to take it over to the USA, the George Michael Singers tour. So they're doing the UK at the moment, but I'm pretty sure that they're planning on going over to the USA and doing a tour there as well. So yeah, I'm not sure about Australia, but if you are over in the USA and you want to catch a performance of the George Michael Singers, then you will be able to. And of course, you can say hi to Shirley if you're over there going to watch a show. You can wear your Wings of Pegasus t-shirts. Yeah, she'll notice them. But yeah, there are other things as well that are to do with the George Michael Singers, and something that I've spoken to Shirley about for the future and future shows. But yeah, that's all kind of up in the air at the moment. But they are currently touring at the moment, and anything in the future, of course, I'll let you guys know if they're going to be anywhere close to you over in the USA, and you can look at the dates and go and check them out. But moving on, we had another donation from Karen for $10. Thank you for that. The message is, greetings from beautiful Sacramento, California. Phil, about Celine. I recall seeing that she was supposedly singing a few weeks ago, so that's probably why she came up again. Too bad it's not real. So thank you for that. And yeah, I mean, there was another video where she was at a fashion show, and I was asked to look at that. But again, I could match up the audio file with the previous release. I think it's maybe from when she was in Las Vegas, and it was the same vocal. So yeah, same thing really with the... I mean, the reason that I was surprised to see a comment of this nature, especially on the Celine Dion video, was because through the course of the videos, I've shown that the rehearsal the night before the opening ceremony was the same audio file, or at least that was created before the rehearsal. So the vocal existed before, the night before the opening ceremony. So we heard it there. We then heard it, exactly the same vocal, the same audio file, on the night of the opening ceremony. So that's 2 times we've heard it. And then there's another video that came out from her performing it in the judo arena at the Olympics, and that's the same audio file as well. So we've matched it 3 times over. So this is why I was surprised that somebody was saying, oh, they called my analysis bogus because they said that she was singing live. So yeah, that's why I was surprised to see it, because we've matched it 3 times, the same audio file being played back. So yeah, I'm not sure how people can then think that, oh, whatever that is, it's now, even though that's objective and it's factual, it's not what I think, so therefore it isn't true. I guess that's what it comes down to. People's opinions, subjective opinions. If they don't like it, they refuse to listen to it, even though it's fact. But anyway, thank you for that, Karen. And unknown person has donated $2, so thank you for that. And the message is 2.00. So thank you for that, unknown person. Right. We will jump over to the PayPal window because we've had a few donations in there. First of all, Elrod has donated £6, and that was on Thursday morning. So thank you for that, Elrod. And then, okay, so this is a donation from James for £500. Now, I tend to say this when this kind of thing happens, that if you do accidentally donate too much money, which is easily done by, you know, typing in the wrong number or accidentally pressing enter at the wrong time. If you are going to accidentally donate too much money, the place to do that is PayPal, because then I can refund it straight away. And it's really simple to do. I just click on a button. The place not to do an accidental donation is in the super chat window, because that 45 to 60%, that's something that YouTube takes instantly. As soon as you click that send button, and you might see, oh no, I've put in too much. They've taken their share of that instantly, and they don't do refunds. So yeah, I'd be able to give, what, 40% back? I'd have to check how much I actually get through. But maybe I could give back, if they only took 45%, I could give back 55%. But yeah, this is the problem, that if you accidentally type in a ridiculous number into YouTube and you press send, then they're going to take that money. Imagine if you accidentally typed in $5,000 or something, go, oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Potentially 60% of that is gone, it's disappeared. You say, oh, I only meant to do 5 or maybe 50. So yeah, so just be careful when you are typing in. But thank you for the donation, James, over on PayPal. And Bryony has donated £20. And by the way, yeah, James, we can organise that afterwards. Is absolutely straightforward, like I said, in order just to reverse that. But thank you for the donation. Bryony's donated £20 as well, and that is a straight up donation, so thank you for that. Nicole's donated £12. Thank you for that, Nicole. The message is, hello Phil, today here is a solar eclipse, lots of cold wind, and England. Good many things, Phil. Rock again, and peace for all. So thank you for that. Weather-wise, here it's not too bad. I think more recently, I mean, I've got the hoodie on, so it's not well, it's not really warm, but potentially next week, I think things are going to warm up a bit to maybe 17 or 18 degrees Celsius, which is quite warm here in the UK. I know that in very hot places they'll think, well, that's not very hot at all, but that's quite warm for this time of year here in the UK. So yeah, things are still a bit cool at the moment, but warming up, and I don't know how long it's going to stay warmer for, but I'd say that the temperature is around, I don't know, it was around 7 degrees yesterday. And I'm going to see if my phone, yes, there we go. So it's 10 degrees at the moment. And it's quite early in the night, so it might drop down to 7 again. So yeah, 7 degrees Celsius, which yeah, is not too bad. Right. Thank you for that, Nicole. And we've had another donation from Tammy for £25. Thank you for that, Tammy. And that is a straight up donation. And Debbie has donated £10. Thank you for that, Debbie. The message is, hi Phil, a little something for always making our Saturday nights a little better. You are awesome. Love you, Debbie. So thank you for that. And there's another one that's come through. Karen has donated £6.33. Thank you for that, Karen. The message is, hi Phil, sounds like Authentic Vocal is getting off to a great start. Your interview with Shirley was great. Just for fun, from Mindful Talk, why do you think it is important to be aware of our thoughts and feelings? Thanks for all you do and for being you. We wingers stand by you. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that. And the other thing was that on Thursday we started the email campaign for Authentic Vocal as well. That's the main thing that's kind of started up. So there's a few emails there that people can dive into, and yeah, it's good to start that. And we'll just be doing that every Thursday. So every week we'll have a new kind of campaign that we're starting. But of course, if you want to email people from previous weeks, then you can do. So yeah, get involved over on patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus. And I know that you guys that have been there for a while are getting involved. So thank you guys for helping out with that email campaign. But you can become a free member over on Patreon if you want to. And let me click on that, and it does show the link. So there you go, patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus. And I'm not sure whether it says anymore on the website, but it used to say become a patron, because that's what it's all about. But then the website is Patreon. So just remember the E on there. And I've seen some people that are on the platform that say to people, thank you for becoming a Patreon of mine. But it was all set up about being a patron. Back in the day, patrons were people that allowed people or other people like artists and writers to do what they did. Like I've mentioned before that Shakespeare had patrons, so people that would allow him to do what he does. But anyway, that's what it was all set up to do and to be. And it just so happens that the website is patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus. But I still call the people at the bottom of the screen my patrons, because they allow me to do what I do. So it is very much the definition of being a patron. But anyway, the Mindful Talk. Why do you think it is important to be aware of our thoughts and feelings? So without thoughts and feelings, we'd be a computer, but also we wouldn't know our own personality. We wouldn't have an identity. So yeah, if you weren't aware of your thoughts and feelings, then no artist would be unique. We'd all be the same, because we wouldn't know what we're thinking or feeling. It's not very good to not know what you're thinking, because then if you don't know what you're thinking, it means that you're not your own consciousness. So are you even conscious if you don't have that appreciation of what you're thinking? So yeah, I don't know, maybe it's something that maybe people who have multiple personality disorders don't know when they change what the new person is thinking, because they're only ever the one person. I don't know how that works. I'm not a psychology expert, but anyway, just for generally, I think, yeah, it is important to be aware of your thoughts and feelings, and I think it's very important because, yeah, it makes you you. Right, thank you for that, Karen. And Paula has donated £3.70, so thank you for that, Paula. And the message is Wings of Pegasus. So thank you for that. And just an excuse to be able to plug the channel name. So, also, was it yesterday? Was it the day before? But I had a message from Essex County. Again, check out Authentic Vocal. And the YouTube channel is at Official Authentic Vocal on YouTube. So yeah, go and check that out. Over on Instagram as well. It's authentic.vocal. But on Instagram, Essex County, who I featured on Authentic Vocal, did a post or a story over on Instagram, and it was Brett Manning, the vocal coach. And I've known of Brett Manning for years because he had a course called Singing Success. And it's not something that I got into, but that was all part of the online materials and little tips and things that I was just trying to look at wherever I could find them when I was learning to sing. So yeah, many years ago, probably talking about 10 plus years ago now, I knew of Brett Manning. But anyway, long story short, he did a post on his Instagram saying, oh, check out this band, Essex County, and he said that the famous reviewing channel Wings of Pegasus is correct when he states that they're better than 99.9% of the industry at the moment. So yeah, I mean, it's great that Brett watches my channel, even knows who I am, and he did message me as well on Instagram, and we did say, and this is always the difficult thing, is organising diaries, but he did say that we'll have to do something in the future together, maybe on his podcast or something like that. So we'll see if anything happens, but it's always the case that just organising anything is very difficult with getting times and schedules and getting things to overlap. I'm pretty sure that I've been meaning to talk to Shirley for probably at least 6 months until we found a spot that, oh, if you're there, because she said, oh, we're going to be finishing rehearsing at that time, so we could have a chat, as soon as we finish rehearsal, if you're available. And then I checked, I thought, oh yeah, I might be able to fit in a chat at that point. So yeah, it's just organising schedules that is always the major thing that gets in the way. So anyway, yeah, I mean, that was great over on Instagram to see that. I mean, the channel just get out there, which is good. And thank you for the donations. Let me just skip this advert. But yeah, thank you for that donation, Paula. And Orlando has donated £5.20. Thank you for that, Orlando. And the message is, I recently saw a video featuring the late Neil Peart playing his drum part to the song Virtuality off Rush's 1997 album Test for Echo. The video epitomizes the talent and genius of the Professor. Neil never slowed down on that song. He used a generous amount of jazz fusion and African beats. Is jazz fusion a thing in the guitar playing world? Thank you for reading this, Phil. So thank you for that. And yes, it is. We've had multiple jazz fusion backing tracks as part of the FilJam that I do at the end. So yeah, those are always interesting. So yeah, it's certainly a thing in the guitar playing world. But I would say, I mean, the way that I play, I've never studied jazz or jazz fusion or particular runs or scales to do with it. I just play over the top of whatever I can hear, whatever it happens to be called, whether it happens to be called rock or blues or jazz fusion or psychedelic classic rock from space. So yeah, whatever it may be called, I just play something over the top, whatever my ear thinks will go with it, whatever I can sing over the top of it, and then sing it through the guitar. So yes, that's it. And yeah, with Neil's name, I said Peart because I saw an interview with him once, and he was surprised that the interviewer actually got his name right. They said or I should say the pronunciation of his surname right, because yeah, a lot of people throughout his career would have been saying it wrong. So obviously it was an interview from a very long time ago, but yeah, he was taken aback by saying, how do you know that's how to say my surname? And yeah, so there we go. So I remember that interview because when people say part or pert, it's like Peart is actually how he used to say it, or at least how it should have been pronounced. But anyway, getting sidetracked. Thank you for that, Orlando. And Carmen has donated £10. Thank you for that, Carmen. And the message is, Phil, thank you for helping me with my Patreon account, with a smiley face. So yeah, thank you for that, and thanks for getting involved over on Patreon at all. It is very much appreciated. So I think, we have had some more donations in the super chat window, and it's Tordo Porco who has donated $5. Thank you for that. The message is, a deliberate, accidental donation. So thank you for that. And Kevin has donated $5. So thank you for that, Kevin. And the message is, watching Blackfeather saw live in 1971, playing live last year. They were totally live, but tuned down a tone to compensate. No excuses, play live. So thank you for that, Kevin. And yeah, this is something that will happen, generally later on in musicians' careers. Then they'll transpose the key, just make the vocals a little bit more comfortable, a semitone, a tone. And I was talking with Jeff Scott Soto, and he's featured on the Authentic Vocal site as well, because everybody on the Authentic Vocal site and the page I've had personal contact with, so that's how it works. But anyway, I was chatting with Jeff, and I mean, back in the day, he was singing, belting at the top end of, the, I was going to say the male tenor range, but generally when you're talking about the proper kind of hard rock stuff in the 80s, it doesn't just stop at an A4. You start getting into the B4 and the C5 and the D5 and the E5, just crazy notes up there. But anyway, so Jeff was doing all that kind of stuff in the 80s. He actually sang for Journey for a time as well. And we were chatting about, singing now, or Jeff singing now, and how he isn't going to be singing those songs, especially in the same key, as he used to in the 80s, because it's just something that's totally unrealistic. And the art form of managing your voice as a singer with age, and I think there have been a lot of artists who have maybe got a lot of success when they were younger, and of course, they're fighting fit, and they sing songs that are, physically demanding for not only themselves in the whole sense of, making sure that in order to do that, you've got to be, physically fit and, maintain your breath support and be hydrated and all these different things, like an athlete would look after their body for their activity or their sport, whatever they may do. It's the same for singing. But some singers may not have done that, but because they were young, they're hitting these notes, and it starts to take a toll on their voice because they're not really treating it like a sport. They're just, doing what they do. And especially when people are very famous when they're young, they might get into the party spirit a little bit too much and still try and do this with their voice. And it's not the best way to look after the body and prepare for shows, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, getting back to the point, Jeff was saying about how he manages his voice now and what he sings and what he doesn't sing. And there are people that are always requesting particular songs at shows that might be from 40 years ago, and he'll always say, well, no, I'm not going to be singing that because that was 40 years ago. And if he is going to be singing anything, it's going to be something that he has sung comfortably, where he is now, where his voice is now. It's also about understanding your voice. So really interesting. This was just me chatting. It wasn't an interview or anything, but it's really interesting to hear from Jeff and the way that he approaches it with his voice. And as you were able to see in that Trans-Siberian Orchestra performance that is on Authentic Vocal, how you can tell that he's still just got total control of his voice, and he can still hit crazy notes. And I know that some people will say, oh yeah, but he hit a C5 in that performance, or hit a D5 in this performance, so he can still hit those notes. But it's all about managing your voice. Back in the day, a lot of singers would burn out their voice because they're constantly going for these really high notes, belting in chest voice, and that's just what's going to really fatigue the voice and your vocal cords, and potentially create nodules on there if you're really kind of pushing and forcing it. And it's not a good place to be night after night. But anyway, thank you for that, Kevin. So this is it. If you are playing fully live, there are bands and artists who accept that, yeah, we're going to have to change things. But for me, that's great, because it means that you're going to get a unique version of whatever song it may be, because now they're changing how they do it. So I think a lot of people, when they go to watch a live show, they don't just want to listen to the CD or the record. You know, if you're talking about a band who've been going for a long time, people want that unique experience of just seeing something on the night, just for that particular moment in time, and it's a total one-off. So yeah, thank you for that, Kevin. Right, Karen has donated $10. Thank you for that, Karen. And the message is, I've seen several articles about King Charles being briefly in the hospital due to cancer treatment side effects. Are people in England truly concerned about his health, or is it exaggerated? So thank you for that. And not that I know of. I mean, I'm not a big follower of the news in general, but yeah, I'm not a big follower of the royal family, and I know that some people are. But yeah, from how I understand it, is that he had his cancer diagnosis, but then it was all caught very quickly, and he had treatment. Obviously, still having treatment, and has a side effect due to the treatment. But yeah, from what I saw, the last thing was a picture of him just leaving either hospital or waving to the cameras or something. So yeah, I don't think it's anything. It's not. If it were something that people were panicking about, I'm sure that, even though I don't watch the news, I'm sure that it would be everywhere, because whenever something happens with the royal family, it's just put across all the media and newspapers and news on TV. But yeah, it's not something that I think I see it from the point of view of, and I see this the same way for people who are very famous in general, that they're just normal people. And for the royal family, it must be very difficult, because when they're born, whoever they may be, they're not signing up to something saying, okay, yes, so my life is going to be lived under a microscope. Everyone's going to ask me what I'm doing, when I'm doing it, why did I do that, what are you going to do next? And it is such a high stress environment to live in. So yeah, being a member of the royal family must be an absolute nightmare. So that's the angle that I see it. That is, they're just normal people. Unfortunately, they've been born into. I know that lots of people say, "Oh, it's not unfortunate because they don't have to worry about money and all these different things, that they are secure." But I'm talking about it from a privacy perspective, that they can't really do anything without it being scrutinized. And like, even just leaving hospital and getting loads of pictures and just kind of waving to the cameras, I can't imagine that wherever you go, it's a big deal, that you will get spotted, you will have pictures taken of you. So yeah, I am kind of happy that I've got this far in my life without being really, really famous. Because I don't think it's something that is, I mean, at the time, and I know, and I could get sidetracked here, because I know that a lot of the way that the music industry works is due to fame and celebrity. And that's the thing that is pulled over singers and bands' eyes when they sign a recording contract, because they go on tour and they are well known, they're famous, they're celebrities. But that all doesn't mean anything. That, like I said, that's what's being pulled over their eyes, so that they can't see what's really going on. Because of course, especially young people think, oh wow, this is amazing. My face is on billboards. I'm touring the world. I'm performing to hundreds and thousands of people. And I'm famous and I'm going to all these events. But then in the background you say, yes, but what happens when this stops? What percentage of your music do you own? How much do you make in royalties every month? Or how much do you get per play on the radio stations for your songs? These are all details that, because of the fame, they're not asking these questions. They're thinking, oh wow, I'm famous, this is amazing. But when that finishes and the record label says, okay, right, yeah, we're not signing you again, and they leave the record label, they say, right, so where's my money? And the record label says, well, you've already had your money. And then they say, well, what? But I sold, 3 million records. And they say, well, yeah, you broke even on the record deal. And yeah, unfortunately, you didn't make any profit. So therefore, we haven't got any money for you. So then the person is very well known, and they then think, well, what do I do now? Because if they don't get another record deal, they think, well, am I going to have to just get a job? Ultimately, that's what it comes down to. You have to get a job. You have to earn money. So you'll be the very famous person who's working at a shop. But yeah, this is it. Like I said, the fame is something that's going to be pulled over the artist's eyes, especially when they're young. So yeah. Anyway, that's a kind of a side avenue alongside the royal family and fame, but it's something that it is, I think, for the younger generation, almost like an addiction to want to be famous, to want to be well known, to want to be a celebrity, but they don't understand that all of it is meaningless, that you don't get a monthly salary for being well known. People don't come up to you and say, oh, I recognize your face, here you go, here's £5,000. People don't do that. They just say, I recognize your face. There's no monetary value in that unless you've got somebody who knows how to manage you and can work out a career for yourself. Again, you're going to need management, and generally that's something that comes with a record label. So once the record deal finishes, everything ends. They say, well, where's my manager? Oh, well, they work for the record label. They're not going to work for you because you'd have to pay them and you haven't got any money. So anyway, it's all crazy, but we could talk about that for years. So thank you for that. Karen's donated $5 as well, and Karen says, Phil, got a hair update. Unless it's the lighting, looks a bit redder. Still looks great. Chipper likes it. He wants to preen. Laugh out loud. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that. And I don't know, to me it just looks normal. It doesn't look red. So I don't know whether that's a monitor thing. I think I would know if I looked at the screen. I think, oh, why does my hair look red? But it just looks normal to me. So there we have it. What I do notice is in Zoom, the images look different. I think it's like loads of saturation. So it means that like the red things behind me, which aren't really red, but through the Zoom call, they just turn into looking like really like a deep red color. But they're not in real life. They look like that in real life. And I am this white in real life. I don't get, I'm in the UK, so I don't get a lot of sun. And when we do get sun, it's not particularly hot. So I'd say pretty much everything on screen is a true representation of the color. But then, on different formats for like Zoom calls and Google Meets, I think it edits the picture to make it look a particular way. But it is exactly as I've normally done it. So I don't think I can't tell if there's any change in my hair, but I haven't put any red in my hair. So whatever it is, it's just tonight if it is happening. So anyway, thank you for that. Right. There has been another donation over on PayPal. So thank you for this. Cindy donated £10 and says, hi Phil, did you miss Chrissy's donation in Super Chat earlier? Not if it's the one that I read out. Let me scroll up. No, I read that out. Chrissy was saying about it's a bummer they're not coming down under. Shout out to my fellow Aussies. And then I went through the whole thing of explaining about they're not going to Australia, but they're planning, I think, to go to the USA. And then I couldn't say a lot about it. So yes, I did address that, and I spoke after it as well. But thank you for that donation. So are we at 10 to midnight already? Somehow. Right. Oh, the other thing is clocks change here in the UK. So I know that people in different countries, especially over in the USA, I've been happening at a different time. So it means that as of Tuesday, I'm going to be back to normal with the times, unless you're in a country where the time zone doesn't change. But if your time zone has changed recently, then our clocks change tonight. So after the live stream. So yeah, as of Tuesday, we'll be back to normal. And I did release actually the video yesterday. I mean, trying to figure out what's going on YouTube is really difficult because I missed a live stream on Tuesday, and that was, I don't know how many weeks ago now, but since then, it's almost like the algorithm just, doesn't tell anybody about any of your videos. But last night I did release the video an hour earlier, and it seems to have done what the videos normally do with the views. So yeah, I'm not sure really why things changed, whether it was the time zone, whether YouTube is expecting me to release the video an hour before I do, and just because I've missed that time, it then doesn't tell everybody about the videos that I'm releasing. So yeah, I mean, I was thinking about making a video on it because I've got the stats, and it's amazing because the stats from the live stream that I missed and then the next 28 days were crazy in terms of, the amount of views and the drop off. And it's like, oh, over the next 28 days, which is, I mean, pretty much almost up to now, after that one live stream that I missed, I then had a reduction of viewing time of 80,000 hours. So my channel got 80,000 hours less watch time than it would normally get exactly after missing one live stream. And yeah, I think, well, is it really that harsh that if you miss one thing, the algorithm does that it now doesn't tell your subscribers about your videos? So yeah, it's really strange. And of course, yeah, those 80,000 hours, it meant that I got also over the last 28 days 4,000 less subscribers than normal. And there's another stat that I can't remember, but it's crazy that, and for me it was just too coincidental that I missed something and then all of that happened over the last 28 days. So yeah, and then I had other messages from people saying, oh, do you realize that YouTube has blacklisted your channel or anything like that? So anyway, it was either the missed live stream, which I think it probably was, because I'm my own worst enemy, because I live stream all the time without fail, and I can go for potentially a year or longer not missing a live stream. So then when I do miss one, it's like shock for the whole system that, wow, he's actually missed one. So yeah, it might have been that. It might have been a combination of that and the time changes. So now YouTube thinks that I'm missing every video and missing every live stream, when in fact I'm just doing it an hour later according to the other time zones that have changed. So anyway, yeah, that was that. And I can see and this is the other thing, when people say about, oh, why don't you just have a week off? And I think, well, if I were to have a week off or a couple of weeks off and don't do anything, I think, well, if you miss one live stream, say that I missed a live stream, missed a video, missed a video, missed a live stream, missed a video, missed a video, missed a live stream, missed a video, missed a video, missed a live stream, missed a video, that's 2 weeks off. That's 11 things that I've missed. So would YouTube do what it's done times 11? That's the kind of thing that, yeah, I'm not going to risk doing that. So, but I guess that's the algorithm. It wants to keep people on YouTube because it's such a competitive place and everyone wants to be a creator. If somebody does things historically and then they miss something, then I think YouTube probably puts a bit of a black flag by that, or a red flag, and says, right, they missed something. So who isn't missing things? And then they might feature on other channels. So yeah, I think it's a dog-eat-dog world in YouTube, but hopefully things will get back to normal. And maybe with the time changes, it'll, realign things with the algorithm, maybe, who knows. So anyway, yes, let's get organized for tonight's live stream, because we have to jump into the cover video. And River Flip has donated $1.99, so thank you for that. And I can see Joe just said, if you ran a rerun, would YouTube know? So thank you for that. I'm not sure whether YouTube would know, but the people would know if they've already seen the video. And that's something that I have done before, where you release a video that might actually have just had the ending cut off or something like that. And then I release it a little bit later on to say, oh, and this one has the ending for that particular video. That video, because everyone's already seen it, it means that they're not going to watch it all again just for the very last part. So yeah, the viewing figures are very much going to be lower for something that's just a re-release of a previous video. I mean, you'd have to have a significant amount of subscribers more that haven't seen that video to then re-release it for then people to watch it. And the other thing is that with my videos, I feel like when I first started, I was fitting them in and around my teaching. So I just did what I could and tried to fit it into the time window that I had for that particular day. But then as the videos have moved on and I've started to bring in more analytical tools and looking at things in more detail, and for example with the Mariah Carey video, where I looked at 16 different performances and did all of that research before then getting into the video. Because I've got the time now available to do that, it means that I can do a video that is going to be as thorough as possible to point out exactly what I'm saying and showing it. So putting that amount of time into the videos, previously I couldn't do. So I feel like re-releasing an older video for new subscribers who might have seen my analysis videos now, and that's what they expect. And then I say, oh, and here's a video from 5 years ago, and I release it, and it's nothing like the videos now. And people will say, well, where's the pitch monitoring software? And where are the other performances that you're comparing it to? And it might not even have the vocal line on screen. And they'll say, well, and it might not even be when I could demonstrate anything on the guitar. So they say, well, yeah, but what's happening? Where's all the stuff that you normally do? And I'll say, oh, well, no, this is a very old video. So that's the problem with re-releasing old videos. I feel like, as I progress and as the support increased, it means that I could do more. So I feel like releasing an older video would be a bit like, well, they're not quite as thorough. I think before I wasn't necessarily covering the stuff that I am now, where I didn't really need to make sure that everything that I was saying and presenting was legally watertight. Whereas more recently, I do have to make sure that what I say is that, and why I therefore have to do a lot more research and make sure that everything is as it should be, and that the videos stay on YouTube. So that's always the way to test it, is if the videos are still there, no matter what they're saying about a particular performance, if they are still there, it means that, they are objective facts that I am presenting. Because if they weren't, there are teams that would take those down, in a hundredth of a second. But anyway, unknown persons donated $1 again. Thank you for that. And Diamond Girls donated $2 and said missed live stream was 3/4/25. So that's the other way around. We write it differently here in the UK, so that would have been the 4th of March. So where are we now? Right, so that would have been 25 days ago, almost 26 days ago. So when I say about the 28 days, that things have just started to tail off. So almost at that 28-day period now. So anyway, Elaine says TikTok $2, so thank you for that. And we are going to be jumping into the cover video, and I will bring that to a close. Then we'll have a quick troll corner, but I'm just going to see how long the FilJam is. We do need a bit of a spike of the likes in order to have the FilJam. So if you could hit the thumbs up, that would be very much appreciated. We're at 468 likes at the moment, and we're going to attempt to get to 524 tonight, which means we need 52 more people by the end of the live stream. And yeah, I don't think we're going to have time for Troll Corner. We'll have to do that on Tuesday. We'll have a rollover of Troll Corner, but the backing track is 9 minutes and 38 seconds, so it's like almost 10 minutes. So after this cover video, it's going to take us right to the end if we hit the target. So we have to keep an eye on the likeometer to see if it gets up anywhere close to 520. We will have to see. But another thing is, which one actually won out? It was behind Blue Eyes with 56% of the vote. So yeah, thank you guys for requesting that over on Patreon, but also for voting for that as tonight's cover video. And we're looking for 41 more people. So now 39 more people to hit the thumbs up. So if you could do that, that would be great. If we hit the target, we'll come back. We'll have a FilJam. We'll have to keep an eye on that and see how close we get. Anyway, this is my version of Behind Blue Eyes. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you after. Rock!
No one knows what it's like to be the bad man, to be the sad man behind blue eyes. No one knows what it's like to be hated, to be fated, to telling only lies. But my dreams, they aren't as empty as my conscience seems to be. I have hours only lonely. My love is vengeance, it's never free.
And there we have it. That was my cover of Behind Blue Eyes, and I hope you enjoyed that one. Now, were 12 people away from busting out the guitar and having a FilJam for tonight. How are we doing for time? The backing track is 9 minutes and 38 seconds, and it's almost 5 past midnight, which means if we do hit 9 more people that we're looking for, if we do get 9 more thumbs up, then we will have time to fit this in at the end of the live stream. So yeah, if you're in that live chat room and you haven't hit the thumbs up, then it would be great if you could do that. It'd be very much appreciated. And yeah, we are getting close. 6 people required. So, Kyrie Lason has donated $5 in the super chat window. So thank you for that. And the message is beautiful. Thanks, Phil. The crescendos are chilling. So yeah, I'll thank you for that donation. And I can see we're looking for 3 people now. I think I must be maybe in the past because some people are saying 2. But on my screen it still says, and and there we have it. Yeah, it's like waiting for a bus. You wait for one for ages and then 2 come along at the same time. That's something that we say here in the UK. I don't know if you say it in other places, but we have hit the target for tonight. So it means that we are going to be having a FilJam. And let me organise what's going on here. Let me see if I can press this. Yes! It zoomed out instantly rather than having to press it about 500 times. So, right. We're in a race against time. Guitar. And try and get that a little bit closer so I can actually get that there. Right. What have I got going on here? I'll tell you what I've got going on here is my voice repeating about a second after I've said everything, which is a bit annoying. So, right, let me click on that.
Attention, car owners.
Nope. That was the advert. That would be a strange start to a backing track. So, this is epic progressive metal backing track / guitar jam. Elegy for the Dead. I'm saying that correctly. But it's from Pat Matrone, or Pat Matrone. Matrone. That's the name of the backing track. If you guys want to check out on YouTube yourselves. And let me skip this advert. Right, let's unmute that. Let me know what it sounds like in the live chat room. And that was good. I just hit the guitar, so at least I know that that's working. And I don't know what the levels are going to be like, but let's see. Oh, it's heavy. Oh. Can you hear this? It's an advert. So there we go. That was a very long FilJam for tonight. Epic progressive metal backing track / guitar jam, in brackets, Elegy for the Dead, if I'm saying that correctly, from Pat Matrone. Pat, as you would expect, Matrone. And there we have it. So, yeah, as always, as long as you could hear the guitar, that's fine. It's all, a little bit hit and miss here. And we had a little bit of fringing. I say a little bit of. Lots of, all that kind of stuff. So, that was, it was what it was. There we go. Epic progressive metal backing track / guitar jam. So thank you for sending that my way, Joe. And I'm going to be here with another video tomorrow night and live streaming on Tuesday night, of course. So look out for that. And the clocks change, as I said. So I'll be back to what is more of a normal time around the world. But if you're ever in doubt, just type into Google time in London, England, and then you'll find out what the time is where I am, and then you can work out what the time is where you are. So there we go. And Orlando has donated $5 as well, so thank you for that, Orlando. Let me just skip this advert. And the message is, that reminds me of The Sails of Charon by Scorpions from 1977. The guitar riffing and solo by Uli John Roth are epic. So thank you for that, Orlando. And yes, Uli is someone that I've had multiple contacts with in the past on Twitter and Facebook. I think I did a video on Uli years ago. And he's another one of those artists that those players that then got in touch, and we just started talking about lots of different things. So yes, very much same thing, same note choices, and it's very much a sound that it has to be that particular scale, those particular notes. Obviously, it doesn't have to be, but anything else doesn't really gel with it as much. So you are, I'd say that you are creatively maybe backed into a corner with, what can you do with these notes? And I know that a lot of people will just work out the scale and work out runs and just play subconscious runs throughout a scale all the time. But that's not really how I roll. I think if you need to learn something and just recite it subconsciously, you're not really creating anything. You're just playing what you've already learned. So you're not really reacting to the music as you hear it. But anyway, yeah, like I said, you kind of have to go down those avenues, those melody choices. So thank you for that, Orlando. Right, we are going to be calling things to a close now. So all that's left for me to say is try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and I'll catch you guys at tomorrow night's video. See you then. Rock.